Article 240.21 of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses the requirements for tap conductors specifically concerning their size relative to the overcurrent device protecting them. In the context of tapping a 1200 amp service to supply a 200 amp load, it's crucial to understand these rules to ensure code compliance and electrical safety. The code stipulates that the tap conductors must have an ampacity that is not less than 1/3 of the rating of the overcurrent device protecting them. In this scenario, the 1200 amp main breaker serves as the overcurrent protection for the tap conductors. Therefore, the tap conductors must have an ampacity of at least 1/3 of 1200 amps, which equals 400 amps. The proposal to use 3/0 copper conductors, which typically have an ampacity of around 300 amps based on NEC Table 310.16, is not compliant with this requirement. These conductors are not adequately sized to handle the potential current flow based on the overcurrent protection provided by the 1200 amp main breaker. Additionally, the NEC Article 240.21b mandates that tap conductors be protected from overcurrent by a device rated no more than their ampacity. Using 200 amp fuses to protect 3/0 copper conductors might seem appropriate for the 200 amp load, but it doesn't address the initial requirement that the tap conductors must be sized based on the 1200 amp main breaker. The 200 amp fuses would not provide adequate protection against potential overcurrent situations originating from the 1200 amp service. A compliant solution involves using conductors with an ampacity of at least 400 amps to run from the 1200 amp main to a 400 amp disconnect. From this 400 amp disconnect, you can then run appropriately sized conductors such as 3/0 copper protected by a 200 amp overcurrent device to supply the 200 amp load. This approach ensures that the tap conductors are adequately sized relative to the 1200 amp main breaker and that the 200 amp load is protected by an appropriately sized overcurrent device. To further elaborate, the purpose of Article 240.21 is to prevent overcurrent situations that could lead to overheating, insulation damage, and potentially electrical fires. When tap conductors are undersized relative to the overcurrent device protecting them, they become a weak link in the electrical system. A fault downstream could draw excessive current through these undersized conductors, exceeding their ampacity and causing them to overheat before the 1200 amp main breaker trips. By requiring the tap conductors to be sized at least 1/3 of the main breaker's rating, the NEC ensures that they can withstand a reasonable amount of overcurrent without posing a significant safety risk. The requirement to protect the tap conductors with an overcurrent device rated no more than their ampacity provides an additional layer of protection. This ensures that if a fault occurs downstream, the smaller overcurrent device will trip before the tap conductors are overloaded. In summary, when tapping a large service such as a 1200 amp service, it is imperative to carefully consider the requirements of NEC Article 240.21. Failure to comply with these rules can create a dangerous situation and potentially violate electrical codes. The correct approach involves sizing the tap conductors based on the main breaker's rating, providing a suitable disconnect with overcurrent protection at the point of the tap, and then running appropriately sized conductors to the final load. In this specific case, using 400 amp conductors from the 1200 amp main to a 400 amp disconnect, followed by 3/0 copper conductors protected by 200 amp fuses, is the recommended and code-compliant solution. Let's delve deeper into the specifics of conductor ampacity and overcurrent protection, clarifying the relevant NEC requirements. Conductor ampacity refers to the maximum current in amps that a conductor can carry continuously under specified conditions of use without exceeding its temperature rating. This rating is primarily determined by the conductor's size, material, insulation type, and ambient temperature. NEC Table 310.16 provides ampacity ratings for various types of insulated conductors based on these factors. For example, a 3/0 copper conductor with THHN insulation, commonly used in electrical installations, typically has an ampacity of around 300 amps when installed in a raceway or cable in an ambient temperature of 30 degrees Celsius or 86 degrees Fahrenheit. However, it's crucial to consult the specific ampacity tables and Deriton factors in the NEC to determine the correct ampacity for a given conductor in a particular application. Overcurrent protection, on the other hand, is the use of devices like circuit breakers or fuses to interrupt the flow of current in a circuit when it exceeds the conductor's ampacity. This protection is designed to prevent overheating, insulation damage, and potential electrical fires caused by overloads or short circuits. The NEC requires that conductors be protected against overcurrent in accordance with their ampacities. This means that the overcurrent device protecting a conductor should be rated no higher than the conductor's ampacity. For example, a 3/0 copper conductor with an ampacity of 300 amps should typically be protected by a circuit breaker or fuse rated no higher than 300 amps. However, there are some exceptions to this rule, such as when the conductor is part of a motor circuit or when certain tap rules apply. In the context of the 1200 amp service tap, the NEC tap rules in Article 240.21 provide specific guidelines for sizing and protecting tap conductors. As previously mentioned, these rules require that the tap conductors have an ampacity of at least 1/3 of the rating of the overcurrent device protecting them, and that they be protected from overcurrent by a device rated no more than their ampacity. It's important to note that the NEC is a comprehensive document with numerous articles and sections that can apply to a particular electrical installation. Therefore, it's essential to consult the code carefully and consider all relevant factors when designing and installing electrical systems. Failure to comply with the NEC can result in unsafe conditions, code violations, and potential legal liabilities. In addition to the specific requirements of Article 240.21, other NEC articles may also be relevant to the 1200 amp service tap. For example, Article 310 addresses the general requirements for conductors, including ampacity, insulation, and installation methods. Article 250 covers grounding and bonding requirements, which are essential for ensuring electrical safety and preventing shock hazards. Article 408 deals with switchboards and panel boards, which are commonly used to distribute power from a service entrance. Article 314 covers boxes, conduit bodies, and fittings, which are used to protect and support conductors. By considering all of these relevant NEC articles, you can ensure that the 1200 amp service tap is installed safely, correctly, and in compliance with all applicable codes and standards. Furthermore, it is crucial to ensure that all electrical work is performed by qualified and licensed electricians who have the knowledge and experience to properly design, install, and inspect electrical systems. Electrical work can be dangerous and mistakes can have serious consequences. Therefore, it's always best to leave electrical work to the professionals. In addition to the technical aspects of the 1200 amp service tap, it's also important to consider the administrative and regulatory requirements. In most jurisdictions, a permit is required before any electrical work can be performed. This permit ensures that the work is inspected by a qualified electrical inspector to verify that it complies with the NEC and other applicable codes and standards. The electrical inspector will typically review the plans for the electrical installation and conduct a site visit to inspect the work. If the work is not in compliance with the code, the inspector will issue a correction notice requiring the deficiencies to be corrected. Once the corrections have been made, the inspector will conduct a final inspection to verify that the work is in compliance. It's important to cooperate with the electrical inspector and to address any deficiencies promptly. Failure to do so can result in fines, delays, and even legal action. In conclusion, the 1200 amp service tap is a complex electrical installation that requires careful planning, design, and execution. By understanding the requirements of NEC Article 240.21 and other relevant codes and standards, you can ensure that the installation is safe, compliant, and reliable. Remember to consult with qualified electrical professionals and to obtain all necessary permits before starting any electrical work. And finally, ensure that all electrical work is performed by licensed and experienced electricians. To summarize the key points regarding the 1200 amp service tap and NEC compliance, firstly, the 3/0 copper conductors initially proposed are insufficient due to their ampacity rating being lower than 1/3 of the 1200 amp main breakers rating. Secondly, NEC Article 240.21 mandates that tap conductors have an ampacity of at least 1/3 of the overcurrent device protecting them, necessitating conductors rated for at least 400 amps in this scenario. Thirdly, the proposal violates NEC Article 240.21b because the 200 amp fuses protecting the 3/0 copper conductors do not provide adequate protection against potential overcurrent originating from the 1200 amp service. Fourthly, a compliance solution involves using 400 amp conductors from the 1200 amp main to a 400 amp disconnect, followed by appropriately sized conductors, such as 3/0 copper, protected by 200 amp fuses for the 200 amp load. Fifthly, understanding conductor ampacity, as defined by NEC Table 310.16, is crucial for proper conductor sizing and overcurrent protection. Sixthly, overcurrent protection devices, like circuit breakers and fuses, must be rated no higher than the conductor's ampacity to prevent overheating and potential fire hazards. Seventhly, consulting all relevant NEC articles, including 310, 250, 408, and 314, ensures comprehensive compliance with electrical codes and standards. Eighthly, hiring qualified and licensed electricians is essential for safe and code-compliant electrical installations. Ninthly, obtaining necessary permits and cooperating with electrical inspectors ensures that the work is inspected and meets all applicable codes and standards. Tenthly, prioritizing electrical safety by adhering to NEC guidelines and best practices is paramount to prevent accidents, injuries, and property damage. Furthermore, consider the practical aspects of the installation, such as the physical location of the tap, the routing of the conductors, and the accessibility of the disconnects and overcurrent protection devices. Ensure that the conductors are properly supported and protected from physical damage. Use appropriate conduit and fittings to protect the conductors from the elements and from accidental contact. Locate the disconnects and overcurrent protection devices in accessible locations where they can be easily inspected and maintained. Also, consider the potential for future expansion or changes to the electrical system. Design a tap in a way that allows for future modifications without requiring major rewiring or equipment replacements. Leave adequate space for additional conductors and equipment. Use modular components that can be easily added or removed as needed. By considering these practical aspects, you can create a tap that is not only code compliant but also functional, reliable, and easy to maintain. Remember that the information provided here is for general guidance only and should not be substituted for professional electrical advice. Always consult with qualified electrical professionals and refer to the latest edition of the NEC for specific requirements and recommendations. Electrical codes and standards can vary depending on the jurisdiction, so it's important to be aware of the local requirements and to comply with them. By following these guidelines, you can ensure that the 1200 amp service tap is installed safely, correctly, and in compliance with all applicable codes and standards. Always prioritize safety and consult with qualified professionals when working with electrical systems. Now let's consider some additional factors that can affect the ampacity of conductors and the selection of overcurrent protection devices. Ambient temperature is one such factor. The ampacity of a conductor is inversely proportional to the ambient temperature. This means that as the ambient temperature increases, the ampacity of the conductor decreases. This is because higher temperatures cause the conductor to generate more heat, which can exceed its temperature rating and lead to insulation damage. The NEC provides derating factors for conductors installed in high ambient temperature environments. These derating factors reduce the ampacity of the conductor to compensate for the higher temperature. For example, a conductor installed in an ambient temperature of 40 degrees Celsius or 104 degrees Fahrenheit may need to be derated by 0.88, which means its ampacity is reduced by 12%. Another factor that can affect the ampacity of conductors is the number of conductors installed in a raceway or cable. When multiple conductors are installed in close proximity to each other, they can generate more heat than if they were installed separately. This can reduce their ampacity. The NEC provides adjustment factors for conductors installed in raceways or cables with multiple conductors. These adjustment factors reduce the ampacity of the conductors to compensate for the increased heat. For example, if 4 to 6 conductors are installed in a raceway or cable, their ampacity may need to be adjusted by 0.80, which means their ampacity is reduced by 20%. Voltage drop is another important consideration when sizing conductors. Voltage drop is the reduction in voltage that occurs along a conductor due to its resistance. Excessive voltage drop can cause equipment to malfunction or operate inefficiently. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to no more than 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, it's important to use conductors that are large enough to carry the load current without excessive voltage drop. The longer the conductor run, the larger the conductor size needed to minimize voltage drop. In addition to these factors, it's also important to consider the type of load being served by the conductors. Different types of loads have different current characteristics. For example, motor loads typically have high inrush currents when they start, which can overload the conductors and overcurrent protection devices. For motor loads, it's important to use conductors and overcurrent protection devices that are sized to handle the inrush current. Nonlinear loads, such as electronic equipment, can generate harmonic currents, which can also overload the conductors and overcurrent protection devices. For nonlinear loads, it's important to use conductors and overcurrent protection devices that are rated to handle the harmonic currents. By considering all of these factors, you can ensure that the conductors and overcurrent protection devices are properly sized for the application and that the electrical system operates safely and efficiently. Remember to consult with qualified electrical professionals and refer to the latest edition of the NEC for specific requirements and recommendations.